Okay, we got my buddy's Raid Max Smile-O-Don case here. It's got an AMD 720 Black Edition chip, Gigabyte 790 X motherboard. I believe this is a 4770 graphics card, 2 gigs of RAM, and a 500 watt power supply that came with the case. So we're fixing to clean this up. He says it shuts on and off by itself, and then we're going to run some diagnostics on it. Alright, so let me go on ahead and disconnect everything here real quick, and then we'll have to cut the video. Alright, now let's see here. We'll disconnect all the power wires.
But now, Paul, I wanted to talk to you about this law that just passed. We covered this when it came out a year ago, practically.
Take the USB header out.
Last year, they were putting forth a bill in Scotland.
The main 24 power connector here.
Of course, this is going to this now passed.
Take the video card power out.
And it is going to assign a government
Okay, and of course disconnect the fan.
Child in Scotland from birth until 18
There we
years
go.
old. That's amazing.
Okay, let me get the SATA disconnected down here.
From the Christian community there, from people who understand the purpose of the family and who are concerned about government.
There we go. All right. And the nice thing that I found about these Raid Max Smile-O-Dons is they oops. You can lay the motherboard right out. There we go. Look at that.
Until the age of 5, then it passes over to the local government council. They will assign
nicely done.
Every single child in
Look at the dirt in here.
ensure any potential cases of abuse or developmental difficulties are spotted and acted upon. What does that mean? Well, in the UK, just as in the US with the CPS, they steal children to meet quotas. In the UK, case of the UK,
it's been a while since he cleaned this. Holy bin Laden.
Just in the past week,
look at the dirt in this. Build up inside of the CPU cooler and everything. Alright, well, he says it keeps on shutting off, so I'm just going to take it apart and clean it real quick, and then
a family had 7 children. They attempted to have another baby.
Here, that thing doesn't even shut and close. There it goes. Alright, but anyhow, I'm going to rip this apart, put some Arctic Silver up underneath here, and
apparently no reason whatsoever. So this is about making it easier for the state.
Okay, we're going to take the CPU cooler off.
And then you connect it to other articles.
Put a little bit of zoom on here.
Last year, I believe it was, or a couple of years ago, there was a family in northern England, not far from where I used to live in Rotherham. They were members of the UK Independence Party. The parents were the foster parents, which is a major party expected to win the European
Oopsie-daisy, there we go.
Alright,
now,
their 2 foster children because they were members of that
this is basically pretty easy.
The party
you see this fan should come right off of here. Oh, it's screwed down. Wonderful. Well, that's alright. Unflip that hook. Right there like that.
Numerous different children, numerous different backgrounds and ethnicities.
Take these 2 side pieces off. There goes one. There goes the other one. That should never have come off there that easy. Jesus. I'm going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I probably won't even need it. Look at that. Oh yeah, this definitely, it's probably got an overheating problem. Look at that. Ain't even no thermal paste on there. Must have all burned off. Barely underneath there either. Huh. That's alright. That might fix the problem. Probably overheating.
In the last 50 years, iodine has been
but anyhow.
And replaced with the halogen bromine, practiced and banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the
Wow.
family?
Yeah, there's some dirt in there.
Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing.
Okay.
Encouraged salt producers to add
Oh, let's see.
It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record. Reports document a 15
Trusty toothpick here.
in areas that had previously been deficient in
Think
iodine.
it's something
Bottom
here.
line,
Oh
iodine
yeah,
is
that's dirty.
Unbound.
Look at.
clean,
Oh my
and a
God.
glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com.
Yeah, I wonder if it was an overheating problem.
Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll free 888-253-3139.
Oh boy.
Waging war
This is
on
terrible. Look,
corruption.
watch this.
Alex Jones on the GCM Radio Network.
Here, we'll just take this and unplug this real quick. And bring it over here.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers?
This is terrible.
So does he. He's Alex Jones.
Look at the dirt coming out of there.
GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, filling in for Alex, and I've got on the phone Paul Joseph Watson from the UK. And we were just talking about this outrageous bill that was passed by the Scottish legislature that is going to assign a government minder to every child from birth until the age of 18. And Paul was just recounting how they've had situations in the UK where children were taken from the family because of the judgment of the
We have a
government.
pile of dirt that was just inside the CPU cooler. No wonder it was shutting off.
Of their political affiliation, of course, it was a mainstream political party. It wasn't the top two biggest parties.
CPU was probably up to 90 degrees. Plays a lot of Tropico 4.
Starting to talk about this case here in Boston, in Massachusetts, where a Connecticut family was seeking help for their daughter. You have two different hospitals. One of them Tufts, the other one Boston's Children's Hospital. Tufts says it's a physical problem. Boston Children's Hospital says it's a mental problem. The parents should be able to choose between those two conflicting diagnoses, but instead, the child was removed
This
from their
is just
custody
terrible.
by the government, and they had a gag order put on them by the judge. And when the father went to Glenn Beck and talked about it on Glenn Beck's program, he was slammed with a contempt of court charge, and then the mother just passed out recently as they've taken the children away from them and put them in foster care. This is where this is headed, isn't it, Paul?
It's chilling, David. I mean, the amount of emails I receive on a weekly basis, both to my private email and to InfoWars, from people merely expressing grief, shock, and horror in, 5-page emails recounting the whole horror story about how the state has stolen their children, begging me to draw attention to it. And I can't even get through most of them because it's just so fundamentally disturbing. There's actually a program in the UK called the Family Intervention Project, where the government installed surveillance cameras inside poor people's homes.
Oh my God, that's a pile of dirt right there. All right, well I got to stop this because I'm only limited to 15-minute YouTube videos, and I don't want to wait for it to load up.